Hello everybody and welcome back. We are practically a quarter away into the season right now. 4 weeks have gone by and a lot has happened. A lot of injuries, a lot of unsuspecting records for some good teams, and a lot of good records for bad teams, more or less. I don't know, it's been a weird week, been a weird quarter of the year, but we still have 13 more weeks to go. I forgot how to math for a second. Anywho, let's dive right in. Going into week 4, I posted a 9-6 record. Good job on me, boosting my total to a 34-29 record on the year. Above average, I could do better. A lot of the games I've predicted incorrectly so far were toss-ups and partial favoritism, I'll admit. But nonetheless, here we are. We have 14 games this week. I'm hoping for a 10-4 record. We'll see what happens. Alright, moving on, we're going to start again, as usual, with the most interesting game. Now, before the season started, I originally had this for Jets-Steelers as my most interesting game. But due to the Jets somehow declining for whatever reason, and Fitzpatrick performing, I would say unusually, but a lot of people suspect that this is Fitzpatrick. I don't know, he's never really had a good career, so you can't really blame him for the things he's done. Anywho, so for this one, I went for a rematch from Thanksgiving. Philadelphia at Detroit. Now, I look at this game, and of course I think of the Thanksgiving game where Matthew Stafford went ham throwing, 3 touchdown passes to Calvin Johnson, and then to Moore with a total blowout loss, 45 to something like that. This is also one of the only games where, I was doing predictions on it, the actual NFL website, and I forgot, and I wanted to switch it, because I originally had Philadelphia, but I'm like, no, I want to go to Detroit, but I was too late, and I called it Detroit would round up to win that game. But this time, I'm going to pick Philadelphia and stay with Philadelphia. Spoiler, I chose Philadelphia to win this game. I have a good feeling about Carson Wentz, and I think we're going to get a good game. We'll see how it happens. Alright, our next game, the most close scoring game. A lot of interesting games. A lot of them could go either way. It really is a toss-up for this week for a lot of games. So, with this game, I chose a team, the rivalry of two teams who aren't really good, but they have great defenses. So I went with Buffalo at LA. Now, I know on some videos people keep calling them St. Louis. We're in LA. They're the Rams now. Again, two really great defenses. Offenses you can throw into question. They have great running backs, more or less. Quarterbacks, I am a fan of Tyrod Taylor. Case Keenum, not really. Kind of sad not to see Jared Goff. I mean, you traded him all those picks to get the number 1 pick, and you get the guy. You don't start him. Seems kind of pointless. All those trades to the Titans. For what? Not worth it. I don't know. Should be a good game. Close scoring. Look for major defensive plays to happen in this game. Alright, and of course, the biggest blowout game, which my guess is as good as any. But let's be honest here. New England at Cleveland. Brady's back, and he's coming for a vengeance. And I feel like the NFL, whoever made the schedule, did this on purpose, debating whether or not Brady would actually be suspended or not to go against Cleveland in Week 5. Seems suspicious, but I'm expecting quite a big game. Even if Brady doesn't perform at the Brady level, I'm expecting quite the game. And that is all for me. Here are my Week 5 predictions. Yes, Carson Palmer is out with concussion. He's been ruled out for against Niners, but I feel like the Cardinals will still do good. Titans over Dolphins. Some people are going to question me on that because the Dolphins did blow them out last year, but I think Tennessee will do well. And I don't know if you consider this an upset or not, because I haven't been looking, but I do have the Cowboys to beat the Bengals on Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, and then the Bills-Rams game could go either way. I favor the Bills for this one. We'll see what happens. Raiders will take care of the Chargers. Packers over Giants. The NFC East has gotten so many primetime games that I don't understand it. But whatever. And Panthers, I'm going to trust in that Carolina team because, come on here, it's the Bucs. Bucs aren't as good as people gave them credit for. I like them, but they're not as good. And, of course, for my Super Bowl 51 prediction, there was a change. More or less, I'm going with the undefeated teams here, but I really do like them. So I have Denver versus Minnesota. As of Week 4, my Super Bowl prediction. Now, before we go, I also want to point out, some of you may be curious, I have a fantasy league that me and a couple friends of mine running, you know some of them. So I just want to let you know how it's going through right now. Through 4 weeks, here's what's been going on. Sean just kicked the crap out of me, 109 to 63 points, giving me my first loss of the season. Nathan beats Micah to remain in the race, tie for 4th. Keith beats Chris to remain undefeated. And James beats Jared in what a lot of us considered an upset. So the third standings right now, Keith at 1st, Sean 2nd, myself at 3rd, Nathan at 4th, James at 5th, Mike at 6th, Chris at 7th, and Jared at 8th with an 0-4 record. We believe Jared is playing Christopher this week. I'm playing Micah. Nathan is playing James, and Keith is playing Sean. So, time will tell what's going on. And I had Carson Palmer as my starting quarterback, so now I had to go grab some other quarterback. And that is all for me this week. Thank you all for watching. See you at the end of Week 5. Goodbye.